The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back at it, and we're back into it. This is The Local Show, Steve's brainchild, and it's all about him. So there you go, Steve.
Brainchild? Wow.
Yes.
I thought you said in the last set I had a brain like a child.
Yes.
Did you mean that?
That too.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't quite sure.
You heard me properly. I just thought
people grow up prematurely, Tom. You know these people that are like serious? You ever anybody in your class that was like 14, but they acted like they were 40?
Yes. Yeah, that was me.
Oh, that was
I believe it was me.
That was I never got accused of something.
I was actually pretty goofy and fun when I was younger, and I thought I had hope.
So how'd you get so miserable?
Well, I crested 50, and then it was like, hey, I told Kelly when I was in my 40s, I said, someday I'm going to be 60. And she said, yeah, so what's wrong with that? And I said, yeah, but, I'm going to be 60, and then there's death.
Well, Tom, that's, I'm going to live forever.
Good.
Because I know Jesus. I'm going to live forever. You know what? And
look at you. You got
I'm just passing through.
Yeah, that's right. You're renting space.
I am.
Well, here's a guy who's going to rent the next 10 minutes from us. It's Kyle Pipes. He's the COO of Haun Welding Supply and Haun Specialty Gases. You honor us by giving us gas.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. It's very special that way.
Thank you for being here. Kyle, where are you from? I don't know you from Adam, so...
Sure. Well, I've lived in Syracuse the most of my life, I guess, since I was 5 or 6, over in Fayetteville, Manlius. I'm an FM grad, and
they let you out of Fayetteville.
I know. Yeah. I live in Fayetteville now, and have a bunch of kids, and
that's wonderful.
That's right. Yeah,
very nice.
Good side of town. It's a good side to fish on. Do you fish over there a little bit?
So I'm a golfer, not a fisher.
Okay, you got me. What course?
Green Lakes.
Great course.
That's my home course. That's what I think of as my home course.
Awesome.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. Did you go to college out of state or in state?
In state, I went to Binghamton University. Nice. I was a finance major there.
Okay.
One of those guys.
And what did you want to do when you were going to college for finance? What were you thinking you wanted to be?
I was always interested in business. Wasn't really sure. Out of college, I worked for Siemens, and I sold energy projects to hospitals and universities.
Big company.
What does Siemens do exactly?
Go ahead.
Siemens does just about everything.
There we go.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I used to describe it. I mean, GE is not the same company as it once was, but Siemens is the European GE.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So they're into just about everything.
Big machines. Those Rock-Ten, which was Solvay paperboard, those big machines, and are Siemens machines that recycle the cardboard and do things. Amazing company.
Yep, really good.
Did you sell in state, or were you like all over the world? Or
so eastern side of New York, and Vermont.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. So then, what'd you do after that?
So after that, I made a major career change. I became a pastor. I was a pastor for 15 years. I still am a pastor. So
really,
I have that on the side.
So you know Jesus too.
I guess.
You're like you and Steve.
It's okay. We'll both live forever.
And then I founded my own consulting company and helped organizations with organizational development. Haun was one of my clients, and I recently became the chief operating officer there about a year ago.
That's wonderful. Fabulous. And what a great company, too, because
they are a great company.
How long have they been a family-owned and operated company?
Forever.
Forever. Yeah.
They initially back in the 1900s, or where were they?
I forgot.
I believe it was in the 50s.
In the 50s, okay.
So tell everybody, if they don't know what Haun does, tell everybody what Haun does.
Yeah.
Sure. So what I like to say about Haun is they do everything. So on the welding supply side, so it's welders, which are cutting tables, so we're involved in a lot of manufacturing, mechanical contracting, anything that you need to melt some metal together. We do all of that. And then, of course, there's the safety equipment and such. And then the broader side is the gas side. And turns out everybody uses gas. You didn't know it, but you go to the hospital and the oxygen you use, good chance that's
from oxygen,
us.
Propane at all?
Yep, propane, CO2, and then there's specialty gases, which are a variety of mixes that you'll find in manufacturing, as well as a variety of other processes. So we supply gas from Buffalo to Boston and Plattsburgh down to Allentown, Pennsylvania.
So how many people on the team to do that? That's got to be a lot of people.
Yeah, we have 23 locations and 325 people across the Northeast.
I did not realize there were 23 locations.
That's amazing.
That's
so it's your job to do the math? Is that what somebody in your title does?
That's right.
So
no, I would say that my job is to help with strategy, culture, and overall organizational execution.
Do you have to bounce between the branches, or can you work out of Syracuse?
So I'm primarily out of Syracuse, but I try to make my way around our territory and get to the different locations at different times, just because the relational aspect of it is important.
So if you walk into some location that's far away, you walk in, you're there to fire people, pretty much, right?
That's terrible.
I reserve that for HR. I reserve that for HR, so they get to be the ones who fire people.
Here.
I just try to make it feel like it's good that I'm there.
Right.
Well, the family the business has a great reputation.
Yeah, they do.
I've never heard anybody
a bad word about
ever
Haun.
say anything bad, and that's rare.
Important.
Yeah, I think that, so one of the things that I helped Haun with I originally got involved to help them go through succession from the father, and now the 3 sons are the primary owners and leaders, and Josh and Eric are co-presidents, and then Kyle's another, is part of the business as well, an owner-operator.
So there's another Kyle.
There's another Kyle.
Okay.
Well, that's not confusing, is it?
Right.
But they've always really been a character-driven organization, and one of the things we did was try to define that and codify it, and so we created the Haun values. And so that was a lot of my work as a consultant, and now I get to help us continue to live those and lean into them.
How much of your work is commercial versus like direct to the consumer?
So the majority of our work is commercial, but we, at our locations, I would describe them as similar to walking into a Napa or an Ace Hardware.
Gotcha.
So if you are a local user or an artist, you can go into one of our stores and you can buy everything from a Milwaukee drill to get your tank filled for the welding stuff that you do.
You can get helium there. I know that.
Helium,
right?
that's right. Yeah,
Helium tanks for balloons.
maybe some dry ice for a party or something.
Oh,
like that.
There's that too.
Yep, in some of our locations, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah, very
So
nice.
listeners want to know if you've ever done helium hits, Kyle.
For the squeaky voice.
Yes.
Of course. I mean, who hasn't done
It'll
that?
give
that
you.
just
Thank
seems
you.
really fun.
Thank you.
When he's
Right?
a pastor, he'll often do that.
That's
okay.
right. That's right. Just for effect.
Get people's
Yeah.
attention that way.
Yeah.
Last question. A partner or a vendor, when you deal with businesses, it feels like, oh, so-and-so's got gas for a nickel less or more. Long-term relationships, what's that like?
Yeah, so our goal is to really partner with other companies. Our desire is to focus on relationship and bringing an added level of service in terms of reliability and customization, because I think that for a lot of organizations, it's their uptime and overall long-term success that they care about. So we're able to fill that niche.
Well, Kyle, thank you for joining us. HaunWeldingSupply.com. HaunWeldingSupply.com. And Tom always laughs because I can't talk. Go ahead, Tom.